Hello everyone, my name is Rick Passek, the FlyFish Fanatic, and welcome to my tying bench. Today we're going to do something a little different again. We're not going to tie a fly. I'm actually going to do a coatings review. So what I've done is I've just tied up 9 just black Chironomids with a red and silver rib, just real basic Chironomids. I haven't added the peacock curl or the peacock dubbing yet because I'm just going to coat the whole thing. I'm going to coat it once. And then I'm going to coat it a second time, and then I'm going to coat it a third time with 9 different coatings on each fly, like 1 coating per fly, and let you guys see what how it turns out and how it works and how it is to use, and if it goes milky on us after 48 hours or whatever. Yeah, we'll go from there. So yeah, so let's get going. I'll switch over to the large camera and we'll go from there. So that's the flies we're going to be using. Like I said, real basic little fly. So the first one I'm going to do is just some basically Superfly head cement. Now I'm going to have to pull the fly away from the camera a bit to actually coat it, but I'll try to do my best as I can right there. So just Superfly head cement. That's it. All I'm going to do is just put a little bit of this on, and I'll do a couple, 2, 3 coatings of it. Like I said, I'll have to move it. I'll move it back in. Do what I can. So let's see. Whoop. Coating number 1. Okay, so that's number 1. That's the head cement. So we'll let that dry, and in 24 hours I'll put a second coat on. Next, number 2. Same fly. This time we're going to use, it's called Stick It. It's a nail glue for ladies to put on fake nails. Oh, this one had a. Okay, that's funny. This one has a brush, but it didn't want to come out right there. There we go. So there's the brush. Again, same thing. So this is like a super glue, but it's called Stick It. So. See how this works here. See how if it changes color, or see if it what it does to the actual fly. It's not too bad. Not really liking that lighting. Let's see if that helps at all. So that is a coating of the Stick It. This stuff here. See if I can get that on camera for you guys. Stick It. Brush on nail glue. Okay, that's number 2. Number 3, and most of you guys will know this one, is Sally Hansens Hard as Nails. Okay, there's 2 different bottles you can get. There's this one, and then there's this one. I use both. So Sally Hansens, coat number 1. So this is a little thicker than the other 2 that we just used. Not a lot thicker, but a little bit thicker. Just going to do a real thin coat at first here, the first coat. And then I'm going to just wipe this brush off. Just take a little bit of that off. Okay. So there is a coat with the Sally Hansens. So that's number 3. Number 3. Number 4. Dun, 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 number 4. Okay. Same fly. This time we're going to be using Wichcraft Rock Solid. It's a nail hardener. Okay. It's also got a built-in brush. It's a little bit thicker again, like the Sally Hansens is. So I'm just going to put a real thin coat on it, as thin as I can. I'll wipe off my brush, and then I'll just wipe down as much as I can off of here so it, there we go. Let's take a look. There we go. So that's a coating of the Rock Solid by Wichcraft. Okay, that's number 4. Number 5 Number 5. Same fly again. This one is going to be, now unfortunately the coat, the label is off, but this is Gulff Thinman. This is the thick one. So I'm going to do the thick one right now, and obviously I have to nail that with the UV light when I'm done. So I will just put a bit of a, if I can get this darn thing open, put a bit of a coating on this guy. So I'm just going to put a little bit of a coating right on the top here. See how much thicker this is than everything else we've been using so far. So now I'm just going to use my bodkin. I'm going to spread this out. Sorry if I've taken it away from the camera, but I don't want to get this stuff on my camera lens, so I'm just going to just pull it away a little bit here. So there we go. There is the Thinman. Sorry, the thick one. Sorry, this is the thicker version, not the Thinman. Thinman will be coming later. So far, now I'm just going to zap it with the UV light. That'll dry it a little bit now, and then I'll let it sit for 24 hours like I do with the other ones. So, going to give that a zap. Now this is not going to be perfect because I did it fairly quick, but the next few coats I'll make it cleaner looking, right? So that's that. So that is, there we go. That is the thicker version of the Gulff. Okay. Now this is another one that you guys probably all know pretty well. Boop. Lepages Brushable Super Glue. Oh, come on. Okay, brushable super glue. Take that. I'm going to take it away. You guys can see me doing this in the background there, but this one doesn't want to hold in this clip very well to brush. So this is I just bought this one a few days ago, so it's nice and fresh. I do find that this stuff can go, I won't say rancid, but it can go kind of gooey on you if you don't use it very often. So okay, so there is a coating of Lepages super glue. That was number 6. Number 7, and I just found this one, so I didn't know they actually had one. Oh, there's a little tag on that one. A thread tag. I'll just burn that off quickly. There we go. So, like again, there's, see the black space at the front there? That's where I'm going to put my thorax later on, but right now. So I just found this one. I didn't know they made one, but it's actual Krazy glue with a brush. So same thing. Just going to give it a real thin coat, just like I did with the Lepages one just a minute ago. Ooh, almost hit my camera with that. That would have sucked. So just a nice thin coat. I don't want too thick of a coat in the first coat here. Actually, I quite like that brush. That's nice. I like that one. That's the first time using that one. That's I quite like that Krazy glue. It went on nicely, and the brush was really nice. Let's see. What does it look like? A little thick, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes once it dries. Next one, number 8. This one doesn't want to sit properly in this alligator clip. Whatever. So number 8. Okay, this one we will be using another nail glue. It's called Kiss. Brush on nail glue. So give that one a try. The reason I'm trying all these nail glues and stuff is because you can pick them up at any pharmacy or any like Pharmasave or Shoppers or London Drugs or any of that. And I just find that hey, what the heck, if they work and they work well, and you can get them locally at these stores, then what the hell, why not, right? So I figured I'd do while I'm experimenting, do a review at the same time, because I haven't tried these either, some of them. So that's a nice thin coat of that nail glue. That actually looks pretty good. Quite surprised how well that one is. So that's this one, the Kiss nail glue. Brush on. Okay. So that's number 8. And finally, another UV resin. This time it's going to be the Gulff Thinman. So this one's a little bit thinner than that first one. So let's just see if I can do this right on camera here. Might be a little bit too much. We'll see. We'll see. Let that kind of go down into the underside as well. Yeah, there we go. So that's that. I haven't zapped it yet with the UV light, but I'll do that next here. Okay, a few seconds on the UV there. Actually, I prefer the Thinman over the other stuff for this, but yeah, so there we go. And there is number 9. So that's all of them. I've done all 9 of them now. I'll let these things dry for 24 hours, and then I will do another video just like this, and I'll put this all together in one video. But yeah, I'll do this again and see in 24 hours and give it another coat, and then I'll do it again in 24 hours and give it another coat, and then I'll wait another 24 hours and see if any of them go milky. I might put some in hot water. I might put some in cold water just to see if they change. Yeah, and we'll go from there. Alrighty, so tight lines, see you in a bit. So day 2. So I've put one coating on. Now this is the result after, it's been about 30 hours, something like that. So here you go. So this is the result with one coat of head cement. Okay. So I'm not going to recoat them all on camera. I'm just going to show you the result from one coat. Then I'll let it sit for 24 hours, show you a result of 2 coats, let it sit for 24 hours, and then I'll do the final. So just going to show you each one. So that's the result from one coat of head cement. This is the result right here of one coat of the Stick It nail glue. So it's looking okay. It feels okay. The head cement one feels okay, not sticky, not anything like that. So that's number 2. Number 3, and this is one you guys, a lot of you guys will know, is Sally Hansens. So there's Sally Hansens, hard as nails. One coat. This went on quite nice. It feels quite nice. It's got a fairly decent coating by the looks of it. So that's that one. This is the one that I was actually pretty well, probably the most surprised at. This one here is the Wichcraft. It went on really nice. It flowed really nice. It's not sticky. It doesn't have too much of a shine, a little bit, and it seems to have it seems to have soaked in really nicely. So we'll see how it goes after a couple more coats, because I'd like it to fill in a bit. This is the thick version of the Gulff. So you can see that it's pretty thick there. I probably could have smoothed it out a little bit better with the bodkin yesterday before I nailed it with the UV. Feel wise, it is a little bit tacky, and you can see actually now that I touched it, you can see my fingerprints in there. So it's a little bit tacky. And I did cure it quite a bit with that light. I actually cured it again after the video yesterday. So I'm not too happy with this one yet. Let's see what happens after a couple more coats. This one is the Lepages Super Glue. Sorry, turn that one around because that one's got a screw up on the thread. But you can see that it actually almost looks like it kind of almost at the front up here. It almost looks like up here like it ate a little bit of the thread. Not 100% sure though. We'll have to see what happens after the next coat. But other than that, I mean, it's strong. We know that. It's not very sticky. It's not tacky, but it doesn't really show the silver and the red through very well. Kind of dulled it. So we'll see. Number 7 was the Krazy glue with the brush. So it's a brushable Krazy glue. Okay, let's see. So that one didn't turn out too bad at all, actually. Again, it's got a little bit more shine to it than some of the other coatings. It's nice and hard. It's allowing that the silver and the red of the rib to pop through quite nicely. So it's looking actually pretty good. I don't mind that one too much. So we'll see. We'll see. Didn't change the color of the black either. So this one is number 8. It's the Kiss Super Glue brush on. Let's see if I can straighten that out in there. Whoop. That one actually turned out really good. It's got a bit of a shine to it if that's what you like. You can always dull that if you wanted to, but I quite like this. It seemed to have filled the spaces a bit between the segments. The red and the silver pop pretty good. It's actually looking not bad. I actually don't mind that. It's kind of a surprise, this one. So, and finally the Gulff Thinman. Okay. Let's see if I can straighten that out. And there's the Gulff Thinman. So again, I probably could have done a little bit of a better job coating this yesterday. The first time, I probably could have taken a little bit more time when I was coating it. It's not horrible. It's not great. But you can definitely see that it filled in those gaps between the layers. It's a lot thicker between the segments. It's a lot thicker of a product than everything else. And it definitely has a shine to it. But this one too still has a little bit of a stickiness to it. Now, I know normally what I do with these resins is I'll let them dry for 24 hours, and then I would go over it and coat it with either a head cement or the Sally Hansens. So, and that gets rid of that stickiness. Yeah, it's not bad there. So, alrighty. So now I'm going to give it the second coat off camera, and I'll be back tomorrow in 24 hours, and I will show you the result of coat number 2. So welcome back, part 3. So I finished 2 full coats now. It's been 24 hours since the last coat. So here's the results. So this is number 1. This is actually I got to switch over to my other camera. Sorry. So this is number 1. So this is our just straight out Superfly head cement. So it's actually not bad at all. It's got a bit of a sheen to it. It's nice and hard. It's not tacky, not sticky, not nothing. Yes, it hasn't filled in the spaces between the ribs, but I didn't expect it to. It's almost like water, right? So, okay, number 2 is the Stick It nail glue. Okay. Let's just see if I can get that thing tilted up. So that's not bad. It does have a little bit of a, you can see there on that second rib in, there, it's got a bit of a flat spot there. It might have been where I touched it, I'm not sure. But let's just see. It's not perfect. It's actually a little bit milky. Down in the tail as well. The butt end there, down there is a bit milky. So let me take a closer look at it myself. Let's see. Yeah, even when I look at it close up, it is. It's definitely got some milkiness to it around that butt section and around that head and on the other side as well. So that's this one. So it is going a bit milky, that one. Number 3, Sally Hansens, hard as nails. Whoop. Looking good. I knew it would because I used this for years, but yeah, no, it's looking good. Nice and shiny again, nice and hard, not sticky. It isn't filling up the spaces, but I didn't think so. I didn't think it would. But let's see what it does after the third coat. Number 4, the Wichcraft. Rock solid. Number 4. So that one's actually looking pretty good too. Same thing. It looks almost identical to what the Sally Hansens does. It's not very. It's nice and shiny. It's not tacky. It's not really filling in the spaces either, but it is hard. Everything seems to really be binding well. It's not going milky, so I'm pretty impressed with that one so far. I really like the way that one goes on. Number 5 is the Gulff. This is, like I said, no tag. This is the Gulff thicker one. I took a little bit better time yesterday putting that on. It's still not perfect. It's better around the head, but not around that butt. So it is a bit better. It definitely looks cool. It fills in that space. It really shows the. The wire through that. I think it's actually pretty cool looking. I got to do a better job on the butt section just with the coating. But the coating itself, forget about that I didn't do a good job. The coating itself is looking really good. Nice and shiny. Thing I don't like, again, with all these resins, it's still sticky. And that's 24 hours later. So it's still got that little tackiness. Now I know I would put a coat of Sally Hansens on that and it would be all good. Now this is the one that I was kind of disappointed in. I've been using this for a long time and I just realized it's not that good. The Lepages Super Glue. Now, again, mind you, I didn't do a good job putting it on. You see how it blobbed down here. But in general, I mean, it didn't dry very nicely. I put a really thin coat on it too. So I don't know. I don't know why it did that, why it globbed to the bottom like that. And it's actually at the bottom. You can see how white it's gotten too, how milky white it's gotten. And this is a brand new bottle. So I'll go that way a bit. So I'm not too happy with that, but I'm going to clean that big blob off, and then I'll put a third coat on. Now this one I am surprised at, and that's the Krazy glue. It's looking really good, and it's starting to fill in the gaps too between the segmentation. It's shiny, it's hard, it's not sticky. Sorry guys, I'm trying to keep it in focus as much as I can for you guys, but it's kind of hard to do that when I'm going to show you everything. So yeah, no, it's pretty good. I'm quite impressed with the Krazy glue for what it's doing. This is that Kiss brush on nail glue. It's actually not bad at all. That one filled in the gaps a bit. This is a little bit thicker, so this one I'm actually kind of happy with. I'm kind of surprised how well this one has done. Right, so it is filling in between. Again, I didn't do the greatest job at the butt end here filling it in, but it's actually looking good. It's nice and hard. It's not sticky at all. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. I'm actually quite impressed with this one. And then finally, number 9, the Gulff Thinman. And again, I didn't do the greatest job on the butt section of this one. I mean, it does kind of go abruptly, but I like how it's really forming that taper. Really nice. It's got a nice sheen to it. You can really see those wires through it, and it's actually starting to get that three-dimensional look with because of the thickness of this stuff. It's getting that 3D look. It looks almost like the wires are not on the body. It's kind of cool. So I'll try to see if I can do a little bit of a better job with the next coat on the butt section. But yeah, so that one's good. But again, same thing, sticky. Still a little bit sticky, and I nailed it with my UV torch probably for 20 seconds, and then I did it again for about 20 seconds a few minutes later, and it's still sticky. So I'd have to I'd have to see if putting a coat of Sally Hansens will get rid of that stickiness. I'm pretty sure it does because that's what I normally do. So, alrighty. So that is that for today. I will put one more coat on it off camera, and I'll show you the final results in the next portion. So, final step. I've finished all 3 coats. I've given it 24 hours minimum between each coat. This one's been about 24 hours. The last one was about 30. So let's see what the final results are. I'll switch this over so you guys can see. Camera large. So there we go. So this is the head cement one. This is number 1. So this is the head cement final. So it's just regular plain old head cement. It looks good. It's definitely going to stand up. You know, you won't have any problems of this falling apart on you. It didn't really coat in between very well. Let's see if I can tip that up. It didn't coat in between very well for there, but I mean, it's just head cement. It's thin, right? So it would take probably 5-6 more applications to get that nice taper look, right? So that's the head cement. Number 2 is the stick it nail glue. Let's see how that one turned out. Not great. You see the milkiness by the head and the milkiness by the tail there. So it did not turn out great. So don't use this one, guys. It might be okay for a head, but it definitely did not turn out very nice. It's definitely going milky, and I can see it actually on the back. I don't know if you can see that, but even on the back, it's starting to go milky a little bit. So do not use that one. Alrighty. So junk. Number 3, Sally Hansens. There we go. Looking pretty darn good, and it's actually because Sally Hansens is a little thicker. It is starting to fill in there. It's got a really nice sheen to it. I mean, you can see the reflection of my light in there. So, yeah, it's actually really nice. It looks pretty good. Ooh, let's get right in there again. So it's looking pretty good. It's not very. There's no milkiness to it. Nice and shiny. Probably one more coat and it would look really good. But yeah, no, I'm happy with the Sally Hansens. I'll continue using that. So that's good. Number 4 is the Wichcraft. So this is that Wichcraft rock solid, and it actually looks pretty good. It filled in between the ribs quite nicely there. It's got a really nice sheen to it. Again, you can see the reflection of my light in there. Let's see if I can keep that. This is not easy to do. So, but yeah, you can see that. I'll tilt that forward a bit. It definitely worked out good, and it's staying very clear. There's no milkiness to it whatsoever. Actually, kind of impressed. I really like the brush that's in this one as well. So yeah, so far I would say I'd recommend that. I'd have to go and fish it a bit, but yeah, it seems to be working quite well. So this is the Gulff, the thicker Gulff. I can't remember what it's called. And again, I didn't do the greatest job coating this, but now we got a hair in it or something. Yep, of course. Because there's my complaint. I find that this stuff stays fairly sticky. I'm not the biggest fan of it. So I love the material, the product, but I'm finding that it stays really sticky. So I think what I need to do with this is I definitely need to put a coat of Sally Hansens on these just to stop that stickiness. But other than that, I mean, yeah, it's got a really nice sheen to it. You can definitely see that 3D look that you get with it, right? Again, I didn't do the greatest job with the actual coating job before I cured it. You can see that it's a bit bumpy, and I got another friggin' hair in there. Whatever. So, but yeah, no, I quite like it. It needs, like I said, I need to do a better job of actually coating it, right? I need to do it a little slower. and you'd have to put a coating of something else on it just to make sure it doesn't stay that tacky, right? Now I know Superfly's got a tack-free one. I'm waiting for it to come in the mail, so we'll see how that one does. But it's supposed to be a tack-free. So this is the Lepages, and I can tell you, I am probably the most disappointed with this one, because this one again, I didn't do the greatest job with coating it, but look at that. Like, okay, the bulk down here where it dripped. Okay, that's maybe my fault because I didn't have a thin enough layer on before I let it sit and it drained down. But look at the little air pockets and air holes and stuff in it. And I didn't do anything different with this than I did with any of the others. So like I said, application wise, maybe at the bottom that's my fault because I put a little bit too much on and didn't pull it off. But look at all those little pot bubbles and stuff. Not impressed at all. I think I will stop using this. Krazy glue. Not bad. There's a little tiny bit, and I'll have to keep an eye on that. Little tiny bit of milkiness right on the bottom there. I'm actually going to take this away and take a closer look in my light here and see how that looks. Yeah, it is a bit milkier right there, but it's ever so little, and it's only right by the bead there. So that could just be because of I put too much on or something. But it actually has got a nice sheen to it. It's solid. Yeah, it's not looking too bad. I can't quite see the silver and red rib quite as nicely through this. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's not bad if I take a closer look at it myself, but it's a good. I wouldn't say it's perfect, but it's definitely good. I would use the Sally Hansens or the Wichcraft before I use that. Then there's the Kiss. Okay, this is the Kiss. So again, it actually went on quite nicely. It's got a nice sheen to it. It's rock hard. It's letting that's the silver and the red show through quite nicely. It almost started filling the gaps between the layers as well. Let's see if I can get it that way. Yeah, see, you can almost not differentiate where the segments are. Like there's no bumps. So it actually filled in fairly nice. Again, it's decent. It's got a really toxic smell to it, though. It's like a really, it's got a real strong Krazy glue or instant glue smell. So, yeah, even smelling it right now, it does. So I would probably shy away from that one. It works. Maybe for a drop of head, like I'll keep it and put it on a little bit of head cement on some flies, but I don't think I'd ever coat one like this with it. And finally, the Gulff Thinman. And again, I probably didn't take as much time as I should have putting this one, right? Because it's definitely, tilt that so you guys can see it. It's definitely not the greatest job at the back end of getting that taper, right? But other than that, and it being tacky, sticky tacky, it definitely has that really nice smooth coating to it, that nice sheen to it. It really pops out that the silver and the red rib really pop out really nicely. It gives it that 3D look because it's got that build-up. Like I said, I could have done a bit of a better job at the back end for the taper, but I really liked the Thinman for doing this. It really worked really well. Like I said, I will put a coating of Sally Hansens on it just to get rid of that tacky. But other than that, I would say the Gulff Thinman, the Sally Hansens, and the Wichcraft are the top three. Out of all the ones that I've done, those are definitely the top three. So the Gulff Thinman, I would say probably is number one. Number two is probably the Sally Hansens. And number three is the Wichcraft Rock Solid. Those are probably that's probably my top three right there. Not that there's anything wrong with the thicker Gulff, but I find it's harder to manipulate in a small fly like this. In a big fly, it might be good. So that's something you can take a look at. If you like doing thicker, bigger flies that you need to coat, that's something you might want to consider. But other than that, there's my review, if you want to call it that, or test on 9 different coatings. I'll probably do this again because I'd like to pick up some Solar Res, even though I've got a couple of friends that got pretty badly burnt by the Solar Res. Their face got burnt by it, but a lot of people don't have a problem. So I'd like to pick up some Solar Res, and I'm waiting for the Superfly coating as well. So I might do a UV coating review in a little bit here, and do the Superfly, the Bone, the Solar Res, the Gulff, and maybe I'll pick up another one, and I'll do a UV review in the next upcoming months. So, but yeah. So once again, last time, Gulff Thinman #1, Sally Hansens Hard as Nails #2, and the Wichcraft Rock Solid #3. This one really surprised me. Like I said, it doesn't have a really strong smell. It has a bit of a smell, but not much of a smell. But it's got a really, really nice brush, and it goes on really nice. So have a look for that one. Alrighty. Well, I hope that helped you guys out a little bit, and leave some comments, and let me know what other reviews you want me to do. Give that video a thumbs up, subscribe to my page, and smash that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Ty Lines, we'll see you in the next tying video.